Ladies and gentlemen, total it up for the day. Please pass them to Luke. Luke, just put them in a pile for me. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to take out your cartoon strip, aka your focus, and your study guide. We are finishing those today, and that will help. Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind tomorrow you do have 21 through 30. Wednesday you have a test. Focus, study guide, and outline are due on Wednesday. If you are not here on Friday, we passed back papers, and I think we can all agree that needed to happen. Can we agree? Yes. That was obscene. With that being said, if you are not here on Friday, if you go to the bucket, not right now, because we have things to do, you have all of your papers are in a rubber band. So they've been all grouped for you, so they're all there. So please grab them. They're there for you, and we made it as easy for you as possible. So please make sure you grab your assignments from the bucket. They are there waiting for you. Huh? Before class, after class, whatever you want. They're literally right over there. Okay, here we go. We also talked about how everyone needs to have their Barron's book by week 28. Is everyone clear on that? Okay, because we're going to start the review very, very quickly. All right. So on Thursday of last week, we started our little cartoons. How far did we get? Oh, perfect. Good. Okay, so we have just the last one to go. All right. So we got to Lazarus's cognitive meditational theory. So, which makes this one different from all the other theories, which I think we can agree are a little bit tricky. Would you agree? Already, you saw the words from this week are a little bit trickier. These terms are very similar to one another. So, they are very, very similar. In your test, it will be just as hard, by the way. All right, so this is Lazarus. You may want to write an L so you know. And our little stimulus is going to be a ghost. There you go. So, for Lazarus, it goes stimulus, appraisal, label, then physiological response. Okay, so immediately we see the term appraisal. Now, it is very similar to which other theory, ladies and gentlemen? Satcher-Singer, okay? Satcher's also has an appraisal component to it. However, they call theirs cognitive appraisal. Lazarus just calls it appraisal, okay? So, they're the same thing. They just call it two different things, okay? So, the first thing we do is an appraisal of the threat. Okay, so if I saw a ghost, and we'll make him scary, okay, I would immediately think, oh my goodness, I'm in danger. Okay, if a ghost was coming for me, I knew I'd be in danger. So my appraisal of the threat is, oh no, I'm going to die. Then we label the emotion. Okay, if I saw a ghost coming at me, I would be like, fear, fear. And then I would have a physiological response. Okay, and this is, oh no. Oh, things have gone way out of control. I don't know what that is. I'm going to try again. This is me running away. Yeah, things do not go well. Oh, God. I'm going to write in parentheses running away. All right, so with Lazarus's cognitive mediational theory, it goes, I see a ghost. I have an appraisal of the threat. Oh my goodness, I'm in danger. There's a ghost. I label the emotion. I'm full of fear. Oh my God, a ghost is coming to eat me. Then I have a physiological response. It is a really nice blend. Lazarus is a really nice blend of Sacher-Singer and James Lang theory. So it's a really nice blend of the two of them. Okay. Any questions on Lazarus's cognitive? So a real life example. So real life is an almost car crash. You swerve. You swerve and feel rush of anxiety and honk like crazy. True, not true? Rush of anxiety and you start honking on your horn. So you swerve and your heart rate races. Yes? On Friday driving home, I almost got hit like 3 times. It was insanity. And honestly, it wasn't my fault. I do drive like a turd, but that was not my fault that time. Questions, concern, comments. So, ladies and gentlemen, this will be a huge asset for you for studying for your test. The hardest part of the test is identifying what emotion theory is being described in the examples, because you know my tests are full of examples. And names. You love my names as well, right? For all my people in my examples? Okay? There's a lot of them. There's a lot. What do you got, Cannon?
Wait, I'm a little confused, so you see the car crash, then
Yeah.
you swerve. But isn't the swerve a physiological response?
It is. Well, you have like an almost car crash. You swerve because you're fearful.
So what's the physiological response?
The swerve.
But the swerve comes before the rush of anxiety. What's the rush of anxiety?
It's just part of the. It's just the real life component. The honk on the horn and the swerve are your physical. The reason why you swerve is because you're fearful of someone else, right? Are you listening, or you just turned? No, it's just stimulus is the appraisal of the threat. Oh my God, they're gonna hit me. So you swerve. So it's the fear which pulls you to swerve the car.
Okay, so it's kind of like you understood, like you were
Yeah,
in
like
danger,
I'm
so
clearly in danger. This car
Okay.
is gonna hit me. So, oh my God, swerve. And then you just honk on your horn and yell at them.
Okay.
There you go. All right, here we go. Take out your study guide, please. Let's do it. We got a lot to do. Okay, so elements of emotion. We're going to jump down a little bit. 3 elements of emotion. Go to number 4. So emotions, which I shouldn't have to tell you because you all have plenty of them, including myself, is the feeling or aspect of consciousness characterized by a certain physical arousal, a certain behavior that reveals the emotion to the outside world and the inner feelings of it. We have things called display rules. You may want to make a note of display rules. Underneath behavior, you have a little bit of room. There is a question on display rules. On the very front, you have a little bit of room. There is a test question on display rules. Display rules are learned ways of controlling displays of emotions in social settings. Is there a gender bias towards display rules? Yes. Women are allowed to have some emotions that men can't have. So what are some emotions women can be? We can be sad. We can cry. What else can women do emotionally? We can cry. We can what else? We can't lash out. No.
Yes.
Huh? We can be scared. That's a good one. Women are allowed to be scared and we are allowed to be sad. Okay? Men aren't allowed to have as many emotions as we do, ladies. What are some emotions men are allowed to have? Grace Mary. Anger, yes. If a woman gets angry, they're like, oh my God, she's so emotionally unstable, right? Like, it's a huge derogatory. But if you piss off a man and he rages, it's like, ooh, look out. He's like, whew, he's ready, okay? What else are other emotions men allowed to have or not allowed to have? Men are not allowed to be sad. Can we agree? I will tell you right now, there is nothing sadder than a high school boy who got his heart broken for the first time. There is nothing worse. It is the saddest thing you've ever seen because all the girls get together and they all go to that girl's house and they watch sappy movies and they cry it out over Ben and Jerry's, and then they can come back that next Monday refreshed and like pulled together. And the dude just sat in his room by himself and just listened to that one song over and over again and is an emotional dumpster on fire and is just an emotional wreck. Yeah, because we can emotionally cope with it. Men aren't allowed to be sad about it. That's why the men lash out and say hateful things, because they're allowed to be hateful, right? But they're not allowed to be sad. And so that makes it hard, and that sucks for them. All right, so display rules are typically gender-based. They're also culturally based. In some societies, are you allowed to act out and show your frustration? No, so keep that in mind. Okay? So, okay, so on the front, let's do our, I don't know why this isn't the way I wanted it, but that's fine. We're making it work. Do we want to do AP World today?
Yes.
No one wants to do AP World, not even AP World. This AP World sucks. Where are you? What week are we in? 25. I'm in my wrong little box. This is so annoying. AP Psych. Open. Okay, so if you go to the top of your, I just don't want to do emotion theories. I want to do those tomorrow. Does that make sense? We'll fill in the bottom, the back tomorrow. Okay, so social cues of hunger and all that stuff. Yes? Yes. All right, perfect. All right, so insulin, which is box number 1 on your study guide. Insulin is a hormone secreted by the pancreas. You absolutely need to know it's secreted by the pancreas, and pancreas is controlled of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates by reducing the level of glucose. So insulin reduces glucose.
Is that what we know secreted by the pancreas?
Mm-hmm. You need to know it's a hormone secreted by the pancreas, and it reduces glucose. And then you have, Emerson, what did you say this is called? Glucagon? Glucagons, there you go. They're hormones that are secreted by the pancreas in control of fats, and they increase the level of glucose. So one decreases, one increases. You need to know that. So I would underline the one that increases, and I would underline the one that decreases.
It's secreted by the
By the pancreas, girl. What's up there? Alright, we good? Okay. Well, that was cute. That was nice and easy. Alright, back there? Why? I did not sleep last night. McCray flew to Utah, and he's been home for the last, 3 weeks. I know. But he's been home for, the last 3 weeks, so it was, the first time in a while he's been gone, and it was sad. Five. 4. And apparently I'm just not going to sleep again until this is over. And then I have an infant, apparently, is how this ends. And then I won't be sleeping at all. So apparently I'm just supposed to suck it up. What? Wait. set point is the particular level of weight that the body tries to maintain. Ladies and gentlemen, you know this. Can we agree? There's a certain weight that your body likes to be at. And even if you go really hard on a diet and then you like eat something and immediately you're right back at it and you're like, what the hell? Or like, anyone else? No, we don't know what this is like. I know I'm gaining up here, but like your girl's, hasn't always been packing on the pounds. Okay, so what weight set point is what your body likes to be at. There's a certain number. And if you want to change that number, so you want to lose weight or you want to gain weight, whatever, you have to maintain it for a very long time of diligence to get your body used to that factor. Because all of your chemicals, all of your biochemistry of your body is used to that specific weight. So if you reduce your weight, your body has to then change all of its chemicals. You think it wants to do that? No. So it's easier to gain weight and get you back to where you were, which is why your body constantly wants to be at the same weight, which is why it's hard to lose weight. Then you have your basal metabolic rate, which is the rate at which the body burns energy when the organism is resting. So this is how much your body burns with you just being alive. Like how many calories does your body burn with you just breathing, eating, digesting, just the normal everyday existence? It's about, it depends by person actually. So super healthy people with like large muscles, they need more calories. People like me, not super active, especially at this moment, I need less I burn less calories, but obviously I have more complications going on. Who's a monster, by the way. Anyway, so it just depends. Each person is a little bit different. You can go online and figure out what yours is to some accuracy. Obviously your doctor would be able to do it better. And then you have the hypothalamus, because I know that's a box. Your hypothalamus is the part of your brain that is in charge of food. Sorry, that wasn't a complete thought. Is in charge of your hunger, not food. Don't say in charge of food, because mine would say cookies, cakes, and pies. And fudgicles. I've been eating a lot of fudgicles because they're only 110 calories. And my husband doesn't mock me so bad if I eat only 110 calories of a fudgicle. It's rude. Leptin is produced by the hypothalamus. You do need to know that. So in your hypothalamus box, you need to have leptin. And leptin is a hormone that tells the hypothalamus that the body has had enough food. So some of your leptin are super on it. Some of yours are super delayed. How many of you eat and you're like, I'm still hungry, and then like 20 minutes later you're like, okay, I'm full? You didn't eat anything. It just takes your body 20 minutes to recognize it, yes? How many of you, while you're eating, you're like, oh my God, I'm full? Ugh, healthy people. It's rude. Just kidding. Sort of. Huh? Oh, yeah. Like, I have a doctor's appointment today, so I get weighed in today. Your girl's eating a whole bag of Smart Food popcorn when she gets home. It's already purchased and in the cabinet, and I'm super excited. Don't worry. I'm not worried about my appointment today. I'm going to crush it. Here we go. Genetics. So, it's a big deal, okay? So, the social components to eating. Here we go. There are social cues for when meals are to be eaten. What are some social cues? What do you got? What are some social cues? Yeah, for meals. When people are together, what do you usually do when you got like 2 or more people together? Yeah, you eat. That's a social cue. When you got 2 or more people together, how quickly does food come up? Yes, very quickly. There's also cultural customs. Okay? Apparently in Hispanic households, okay, food is the center. Food is how you show love. Yes? Okay? So, your grandparents will make you tons of food every time you come over and try shoving it down your face and say you have to eat. And you feel like you have to eat because you have to show them that you love them and you want to eat their food. Yes? In white people households, they guilt you for eating. Kind of, yeah. Like if you didn't eat too much, and if you didn't eat enough, they're going to guilt you for not eating enough. And then if you eat too much, they're like, should you really be eating that much food? White people. Huh?
That's so true.
It's so true, because you didn't eat enough, and then you ate too much. And then Southern households, they have their own cultural things. Ugh. I hate Southern food. I do. I just don't like it. I just don't get it. Yeah, like all of it. Like I don't like greens. I don't like chicken and waffles. I don't like sweet bean. I don't like sweet potatoes that much. Like I also just don't like barbecue, okay? I just don't like barbecue.
Their mac and cheese is heaven.
Mac and cheese, if I never eat it for the rest of my life, I'll be completely
What are you talking about?
happily everything.
Alabama's.
No.
Oh my god.
Is that good? It looks like it has to be good.
It's so, I'm gonna get it so. We're like family so.
3, 2, okay. And people use food as a comfort device or an escape. Hi, my name's Sam Bennett, and I use food to comfort. I was trained by my mother, and I have thrived, and I'm trying to beat the cycle because I don't want to teach baby Bennett to do this because it's not very healthy, and it leads to complications.
Are you gonna make home cooked meals?
Yes, of course. We make home cooked meals now. I only go out to dinner once a week. We go out to lunch once a week, and we only go out to dinner once a week. That's it. Everything else is homemade, completely from scratch. Okay. All right, and some people respond to anticipation of eating by producing insulin, and that increases the risk. Bye, Sweetie. All right, social cues, done. All right, so eating problems. Like, try to tell your neighbor, what's your favorite meal your family makes? I'm not saying, like, going down the street to Chili's and getting your quesadilla explosion style, which happens to be my favorite thing in Chili's, okay? What is your favorite thing your household makes? It can be entree, appetizer, dessert, whatever. What is the best thing your family makes? Turn and tell your neighbor, go.
Like family.
There you go. What's wrong with that? What kind of fries? Look at you. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Jessica, what's the best food in your house, girl?
I'm Italian, so we make like a lot of Italian food. I don't have like a specific thing.
Like, you don't have a favorite thing your mom or your grandma or your dad makes? You're just indiscriminate. You'll eat everything at the same pace?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Jessica. That's not a very fun example, Jessica. What do we got? Emily, what's your best thing your house makes?
My mom makes this really good homemade mac and cheese.
There you go. Okay, mac and cheese girl. What's the best thing, Maggie?
Mom makes teriyaki chicken tacos.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. All right, now turn and tell your same neighbor what time you eat dinner regularly. Go. Like at what time you eat dinner? Like what time are you hungry? 3, 2, 1. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now, of course, I know your schedules are busy. Some things you can control, some things you can't control. But if you had to pick when you would eat dinner, what time would it be? Olivia, who's texting her mom right now to tell her about her favorite thing. What time do you typically get hungry for dinner? Like, you're like, it's 7 o'clock, I need to eat.
I usually eat dinner at like 9:30 or 10.
Oh my God, that's so late. Raise your hand if you eat around that time. Like, regularly.
No.
Raise your hand if you're like a 7 o'clock girl. By 7 o'clock, I better be eating. But I better be eating lunch at 11, or I'm fighting someone. I have to eat by 11. Like the Bennetts, we don't go out to lunch with people because Bapray and I are at a restaurant sitting at 11 o'clock.
But like, it
Huh?
matters to come again.
It's like, yeah.
Or like Monday.
Well, yeah, because I'm not 16 or 17 anymore, and that doesn't work out well. Breakfast time? Hi, I'm a grown-up. I'm not allowed to sleep. So
I feel
like,
I feel like everybody just eats all day.
young people do because your metabolism. That when you get older, you get fat. Metabolism doesn't work, so you can't eat all day. It's very sad, and that's why you get excited when you can have a 110 calorie fudgicle. You see how it all comes full circle. I used to be able to eat milkshakes and cheeseburger and french fries and no problem, but now I'm pregnant and now I'm counting my calories. But I will tell you, the Bluebell 110 calorie fudgicles are totally worth it though. So good. Your girl's already crushed a box. Obesity! Obesity is a weight condition in which a person, in which the body weight of a person is 20% or more over the ideal body weight for that person's height. Okay? So, every single person in this room knows that the United States has an obesity problem, correct? We're one of the leaders. I don't know if we still are the leader, but we're in the top 5. So I don't know if we've quit on ourselves. Are we the leader? No, I don't think so. I think England is leading.
What'd you look at?
Islander?
Fat thing.
That makes sense. Huh? No, this is from your textbook, bro. So, obesity is a thing, and every family has obese people in their family. Every single person is exposed. Every person knows exactly what this topic is. You were exposed to it as a small child. If it is in your family, it can be genetic. It's in my family, my mother and my father, and it's also, my brother has also struggled with his weight, and your girl's not always been a delicate flower. So, with that being said, obesity is a genetic thing, and it is based on both genetics and lifestyle. So, just because your parents are obese doesn't mean you have to be obese. But if your parents are obese, you are more likely to be obese. I really do believe that my weight issues throughout my whole life is based on the bad role model I had in my mom. She's an emotional eater. When she's happy, she
Eats.
when she's sad,
Eats.
and then you still got to eat 3 meals a day, so you eat. And so that's what I learned as a kid, and I've really struggled my whole life. And I will tell you, one of the things that I really don't want this little monster to have to deal with is eating issues. But Cray does not have any problems with eating. He can eat sweets and doesn't feel guilty. He can eat whatever he wants and doesn't feel guilty. He just kind of compensates for it, and he's fine. And that's what I want for my kid, because I have to have sweets. I have to have it. And I just don't want that for my kid, and that's something I have to deal with, and I'm trying to deal with, and I've been dealing with it for my whole life, I feel like, honestly. But it is a real thing, and it will become even more apparent if you weren't listening to Connor and I's conversation. He's like, well, people eat all day. No, you don't when you're older, because your metabolism slows down, and all of you are at the fastest, most calories you will burn are being burnt right now, so enjoy it. So when you go to PDQ and get your large milkshake and you live your best life, do it. Enjoy that, girl. Hell yes. Get that cheeseburger too. It's delicious. Because when you're my age, it's going to take you like a week and a half to burn that crap off. Okay, so obesity is a big problem here in the United States. And it is something that, whether it's in your family or not, every single person in this room can experience. Next one is anorexia. Heart disease is a huge consequence. Heart disease is a huge problem of it. Diabetes would also be one. Alright, so anorexia is a condition in which a person reduces eating to the point that their weight loss of 15% below the ideal. Okay? These are when people become too skinny, and they are too skinny because they are not eating or limiting their diet, so their body is not getting enough nutrients. Consequences are hair loss, muscle tone, and body function. Okay, you can literally, people die of anorexia because their liver and their pancreas and their intestines shut down because there's not enough, and also can cause heart failure because you don't have enough calories to keep on living. And it is incredibly severe. Going through anorexia or bulimia, which is the next most common of your eating disorders, will trigger an effect on your body that you'll have lasting effects on. So if you have, or if you know someone who has anorexia, it will cause and will trigger a lifelong effect. So if you've scoured your body to limit the amount of calories long term, your body is going to retain calories even harder for the rest of your life. Does that make sense? Okay, so it's going to compensate. Bulimia is a system of binging or overeating enormous amounts of food at one sitting and then purging or deliberately vomiting. It doesn't always have to be vomiting. There's other ways to purge as well, but vomiting is the most popular. Now, one thing, ladies, these used to be female disorders. Guess what? Gentlemen, welcome to the club. Men are experiencing more eating disorders now than ever before. Why? Because your pants are getting tight just like ours. Okay? The style is tighter pants, tighter fitting clothes, which means you have to keep it in shape, which means eating disorders are rising in men. Bulimia is going to be eradication of your throat. It literally burns a hole because all that stomach acid sits on the back of your throat and can burn a hole in the back of your throat. It will also stop your ability from your stomach for able to digest, because if you trigger it too many times, it won't be able to digest properly. Thank you, darling. And it also is going to, it's the teeth thing too. Yeah, it will corrode your teeth, and your teeth will fall out. Yeah. Well, think about it. All that stomach acid is now hitting the back of your teeth. It's very sad. Goodbye. What a nice way to end the class. Well, aren't we glad it's not just women anymore? Yeah. It's better to be inclusive.
Never say good. Yes.
What's up? Yes. Can you put it on my keyboard over there? I'll have it for you tomorrow. Is that fair? Because I have a doctor's appointment I got to run to today after school. Bye, sweetie. Have a good day.
See you, Miss Beth.
Bye, Nina. Have a nice day, darling.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
How's your day been, Lieutenant?
I'm exhausted. I'm over it.
Ask her.
Thank God.